Welcome, curious minds, to another deep dive from RWG Publishing. Today, we're really digging into a story about grit, about growth, and what it actually means to build your own winning streak. We're opening up Winning Streak, The Rise of a Champion by Bill Vincent. It's a powerful story. And our mission today, to pull out those universal truths, those, nuggets of wisdom that work way beyond the basketball court for anyone aiming for their own breakthrough.
Absolutely. It's such a great look at, well, how talent and drive mix with those often unseen support systems, the things that really push people forward. We'll be unpacking how Vincent uses Ethan Blake's journey to shine a light on perseverance, mentorship, and finding purpose, even after you've supposedly won the game.
Exactly. We're getting into the why and the how behind Ethan's whole path, looking for things you can maybe see in your own life, your own goals. So get ready for some interesting details, maybe a little humor, as we explore what makes a champion tick. Okay, let's start where Vincent does. Chapter 1, The Underdog. We meet Ethan Blake, and things are, well, pretty tough. What's his world like?
Yeah, Vincent throws us right in. 5 a.m. This cramped bedroom. It's more than just a room, right? It's symbolic. Yellowing wallpaper, that faint smell of burnt coffee, Pine Hill, and that Michael Jordan poster on the wall. It's not just a poster. It's his dream, his NBA ambition slammed right up against his reality. Vincent uses these details, I think, to show us that basketball isn't just a hobby for Ethan. It's vital, like air.
So it's definitely more than a game. It's his escape hatch, his lifeline, as the book says. But right away, there's friction. Inside him and outside, too, yeah.
Oh, absolutely. You see him struggling with his grades. Mrs. Carmichael points it out. That sets up future problems, eligibility, but maybe even tougher, those internal fights, those doubts that had become his constant companions. And that's a key insight, isn't it? Sometimes the biggest walls we hit are the ones we build ourselves.
And the outside pressure, especially at home.
Yeah.
Wow. His father's words really cut deep. How does that shape him early on?
Yeah, his dad, worn down by the factory, just lays it out. Reality doesn't care about dreams, son. It's time you woke up. It's harsh. It's like this clash of generations, maybe. One grounded in hard reality, the other reaching for something else. And for Ethan, that makes the basketball court even more important. It's his defiance, almost. His sacred space where, like you said, nothing else mattered but the ball, the hoop, and the sound of his sneakers. It shows how sometimes skepticism doesn't crush a dream. It fuels it, makes the resolve stronger.
Okay, so that's the foundation. Heavy stuff.
Yeah.
But then chapter 2 talks about a spark. What ignites things for him?
Well, the spark isn't just one big flash. It's more like these little moments in those brutal practices. Coach Harris yelling, "Faster, Ethan, you've got to want it more than the next guy." Pushing him past what he thought his limits were. Even getting one nice shot against his rival, Ryan, after some taunting. That shifts something inside him. And his reply, "No, but it's a start. That's not just talk. That's determination starting to form." He's moving from just dreaming to actively chasing it.
Right, but he's still got those real-world problems, like the academics, that math test. What does that show us about chasing a big dream?
Vincent's really smart here. He shows that you can't just pursue one thing in a bubble, right? Life doesn't work that way. Ethan tries, but the math test is like a foreign language. His mind's on the court. It highlights that constant balancing act. How do you keep the dream alive, stay eligible, handle responsibilities when everything's demanding your attention? And the book makes it clear. If his grades slipped, there was no way he'd stay eligible for the team. No grades, no game. Simple as that.
And then there's this great bit of wisdom from someone unexpected, Mr. Thompson at the diner. What does he tell Ethan?
Yeah, Mr. Thompson. Turns out he played ball too. He shares something really profound. He says, dreams are important, son, but so is understanding that life doesn't always go the way we plan. And then this crucial part. Even if you don't reach the exact goal you set for yourself, the journey isn't wasted.
Mm-hmm.
That's not telling him to quit. It's a reframe. It's saying, find value in the process, whatever the outcome. That's huge for building resilience.
That is powerful. And Ethan seems to take that on board, reflecting in his notebook. Plus, he has his mom, Claire, backing him up.
Yeah, Claire's belief is the perfect counterweight to his dad's practicality. She tells him, "I'm proud of the young man you're becoming. You've got the drive and the determination to go far." It's that unconditional support. So you've got Mr. Thompson's practical wisdom, Claire's emotional foundation. It helps Ethan see that his drive itself is valuable no matter what.
Okay, so that internal spark is getting brighter. Then, chapter 3, The Mentor. Coach Harris steps up. How does that change things?
Coach Harris sees the potential, the heart, but knows it needs direction, structure. So he offers one-on-one training, but it comes with a clear message. What you need is refinement, focus. You need someone to push you beyond your limits. It's not just about learning moves, it's about building character, building the right mindset. It shows that even driven people need guidance, right?
And Ethan just jumps right in. I'll do whatever it takes. Total commitment. What does this specialized training actually involve? What does it teach us?
Well, the first session is all about assessment. Basics, speed, court vision, shooting consistency. Coach points out the difference between having the mechanics and making them consistent, day in, day out. It's not just mindless repetition, it's deliberate practice, making skills automatic, reliable under pressure. And the discipline goes beyond the court, too. A schedule, making him disciplined, focused, and in control of his own destiny. It's a whole-person approach.
I love the drill Coach Harris uses, the test of focus with the whistle. That's not just physical, is it?
Not at all. It's brilliant. This isn't just about making the shot. It's about blocking out everything else, the noise, the distractions, the doubts. It really zeroes in on the mental game. Controlling your inner world is just as important as controlling the ball. And that journal Ethan keeps becomes a promise to himself. It makes his growth something he owns, something active.
Then, boom, Chapter 4, The Rival.
Yeah.
Things get even more complicated. Who shows up, and how does that affect Ethan?
Nate Carter shows up at varsity tryouts. He's good, really good, and there's tension right away. Nate says something like, the real test isn't in the tryouts, though. It's what you do after you make the team. It's not just smack talk, it's a challenge. Stay good, keep working. It sets up this rivalry that really forces Ethan to level up. Competition isn't always bad, you know. It can push you.
And Coach Harris sees that immediately, frames it as an opportunity. What's the takeaway there?
He tells Ethan, basically, use it as fuel. Rivalries like this can bring out the best in you, turn that pressure into energy. And Ethan's response is key. I don't want it to be easy. I want to earn it. That's a huge mental shift. Their drills show Nate's better, yeah, but Ethan scores too. He realizes Nate's tough, but not unbeatable. The rivalry becomes this constant engine for improvement.
Even Ethan's dad, James, chimes in with some perspective on this rivalry, surprisingly.
Yeah, James shares some hard-won wisdom. It's not always about being the most talented or the most experienced. Sometimes it's about who can keep pushing forward when things get tough.
It's about grit, determination, learning from every single interaction. That lesson goes way beyond basketball.
Okay, so mentorship, rivalry. It's all building towards something. But then Chapter 5, the comeback, actually starts with a crushing defeat. How does Vincent show that low point? Oh, it's rough. Championship game. The pressure gets to him. His confidence just tanks. He has a terrible first half. Vincent describes him feeling like an outsider in his own team, like he's been exposed as a fraud. It's really raw, that feeling of self-doubt taking over when the stakes are highest. The internal battle is raging.
But just when he hits bottom, Coach Davis steps in with some crucial guidance. What's the message?
Coach Davis calls this early morning meeting. Doesn't yell, just gives perspective. Failure isn't the end. It's part of the journey. It's how you learn, how you grow. And reminds him, you have the talent, but more importantly, you have the heart. It's not just trying to make him feel better. It's reframing failure. Failure's data, it tells you what to work on. That reignites that spark again. It reinforces that big lesson. This whole thing is as much mental as it is physical. And sometimes you learn that the hard way.
Okay, we've seen Ethan face some serious internal and external battles, hitting a real low point, but getting that crucial perspective shift. Now, before we dive into his recovery and return, just a quick note. If you're finding Ethan's story inspiring, if you connect with overcoming challenges and building resilience, you really should check out the full book, Winning Streak, The Rise of a Champion by Bill Vincent. It digs so much deeper into these life lessons. You can grab a copy using the link in our show notes on Amazon. Seriously, it's a fantastic read. All right, so after that tough loss and Coach Davis's words, the story shifts. It really emphasizes something vital but often overlooked, the support system. Chapters 6, 7, 8 kind of weave this theme through. How does Ethan's community step up?
Oh, it's shown in really tangible ways, those Sunday dinners. His mom, Claire, reminds him about learning to ride his bike, falling, getting back up. She says, "You've always been strong, Ethan, stronger than you know." It's grounding him in his own history of resilience. It's not just rah-rah stuff. And then his friends Tyler, Ryan, Jake, they don't just offer advice. They show up, they bring the party to him, watch old game tapes, they just make it clear, we've got your back, right, no matter what. That presence is huge.
And his parents together, they offer some really powerful encouragement when he's feeling vulnerable. What's their core message?
They tell him this is just a detour, not the end of the road. But maybe more importantly, they say it's okay to ask for help when you need it. Giving him that permission to not have to be strong all the time, that's massive, especially for a young guy trying to prove himself. Even his physical therapist, Rachel, gives him a dose of reality, but with empathy. Recovery isn't a straight line, she says, but every step forward, no matter how small, is progress. And her advice to give yourself some grace, wow, that's something we could all use sometimes, right?
Definitely. And Coach Daniels adds another layer too, doesn't he? Redefining strength.
Yeah, Coach Daniels broadens the definition. He says, strength isn't just about physical power. It's about resilience, determination, and the willingness to keep fighting. So this whole network, family, friends, coaches, therapists, they help him face his fears, like the fear of losing his identity tied to basketball, that old jersey he holds. It changes from a symbol of what he lost to a promise to himself to keep going. He starts setting daily goals, small steps, and realizes he doesn't have to do it all alone. That shift from isolation to community effort is key.
So after all that rebuilding, Chapter 9, The Return, he's finally back on the court. What's that like? The mental side of it.
It's intense, a mix of excitement and dread, and Coach Riley doesn't baby them. Right away, it's, you've got work to do, Ethan. No special treatment, which is probably what he needed. No complacency allowed. He's rusty. Movements are sluggish. But then he has this heart-to-heart with Coach Riley. Coach tells him, you're focusing too much on what you've lost instead of what you can gain. You've got the skills, Ethan, but more importantly, you've got the heart. It's that perspective shift again. Focus on potential, not deficits.
And he finds some camaraderie in the grind too, right? He's not totally alone.
No, he starts training with Marcus, another player. And Marcus shares his own story, his own struggles. Marcus says something really insightful. I didn't have to be the best at everything to be valuable. I just had to be the best version of myself. That helps Ethan feel like he belongs again, validates his own path. Then comes the first scrimmage. Big test. He's tired, stamina's not there yet, but he makes this huge defensive block, sets up the winning play, and Marcus just says, looks like you're back. Simple, but powerful. That external nod after all the internal work means a lot.
Okay, so all this work, the physical, the mental, the support, it leads to Chapter 10, the championship. Redemption time. The stakes are sky high.
Absolutely electric atmosphere. And Ethan feels it. All that pressure comes flooding back. The team's chanting, 1, 2, 3, win. But that first half, it's shaky for Ethan. Old mistakes, self-doubt creeping in again. It shows how recovery isn't linear, right? Pressure brings old ghosts back. Coach Riley has to pull him aside. Doesn't yell strategy, just tells him, trust yourself. A psychological reset.
So how does he flip the switch in the second half? How does it become this collective win?
It starts small. A crucial shot. Maybe not perfect, but it goes in. Just a glimmer of hope. Sometimes that's all it takes, that one small success. Then the team chemistry starts clicking, momentum builds, the crowd's chanting his name, and in that final push, he's not forcing it. He's orchestrating, makes the right pass, leads to this massive dunk, seals the win. It's not just his win. The book calls it a testament to their resilience, their determination, their belief in each other. The individual struggle leads to this shared triumph.
Championship won. You'd think that's the happy ending, right? But Vincent keeps going. Chapter 11, The Offer. Success brings new problems.
Exactly. The media goes crazy. Suddenly, everyone wants a piece of him. You're a champion now, someone says. People are going to want a piece of you. Then comes this big sponsorship offer from Peak Performance Sports. Looks like a game changer, right? But Ethan feels this. Growing unease. It's that classic challenge when external rewards start competing with your internal reasons for doing something.
Yeah, that sounds like a huge reality check.
Yeah.
What are the issues he's grappling with now?
Well, the contract itself is overwhelming. Media duties, social media stuff. It's a business now, not just the game he loves. His mom gives great advice again. Make sure it's what you want, not what anyone else expects. Stay true to yourself. Coach Riley also warns him, tells a story about another player, Kevin Sanders, who got lost in the hype. Riley says, remember why you started playing basketball in the first place. Don't lose sight of that. Keep your purpose clear when the money and fame show up.
So much to think about. Which leads to Chapter 12, The Decision. He's got this massive choice to make. How does he figure it out?
He goes back to basics. Thinks about being a kid, just loving the game. Remembers an old coach, Coach Franklin, saying, play because you love it, kid. Not for the fame, not for the money. He talks to Marcus, talks to Coach Riley again. They help him see it's not just about the contract. It's about who you want to be off the court as much as on it. It's about his identity, his values.
And the meeting with Peak Performance, the agent, Greg Stanton, is putting on the pressure. What does Ethan do?
It's a powerful moment. Despite all the pressure, Ethan just says, I'm not signing today. He stands his ground. He tells Stanton he needs more time, wants to do it on my terms. Later, he tells Marcus he's afraid of just becoming a brand, losing control. His mom's wisdom comes back. There's a difference between fear and wisdom. He trusts his gut. He realizes he has the power to define his own success, even if it means pausing a huge opportunity. That takes courage.
That's a major turning point. Which brings us to Chapter 13, the legacy. He starts thinking beyond just playing, doesn't he?
Absolutely. He looks at his trophies, his wins, and realizes his legacy wasn't just about those things. It was in this creating opportunities for others. He starts coaching at a youth clinic, passing the torch, telling kids like Caleb to focus on the one voice that matters, your own, and to dig deeper than you ever thought possible. It's this beautiful shift from personal ambition to community impact.
And he really starts questioning what comes next after the big chase for the championship is over.
Yeah, his agent, Derek, brings more offers. But Ethan's thinking differently now. I don't know if I want to keep chasing the same things, he says. There's this really touching scene with his dad back at his childhood home. His dad, who was so tough on him before, now says his achievements don't have to define everything you do from here on out. He encourages Ethan to take a break, figure out who you are without the chase. It's come full circle. Amazing growth, not just for Ethan, but for his dad, too.
And the epilogue really ties it all together at the Ethan Blake court, a new beginning.
Totally. He's watching kids play on this court named after him. He realizes his journey was just beginning in a new way. He goes back to the diner, sees Coach Davis, sees Marcus, reconnects with his roots, says something like, "The more success I've had, the more I realize how important this place is to me." His final message to young players isn't just about skills. It's heart, discipline, teamwork. He's found his new purpose, mentorship, giving back. He's ready for whatever it is next, focusing on that legacy.
Wow. What an incredible journey we just unpacked. From that kid in Pine Hill dreaming big through all the highs and lows to finding this deeper sense of purpose. Ethan Blake's story really shows you what goes into a true winning streak.
It really does. It highlights that winning isn't just the final score, is it? It's the resilience you build, the lessons you learn from failure, the support you lean on and eventually give back. Ethan's story is a great reminder that staying true to your own values, especially when things get loud and complicated, might be the most important victory of all. That's the real winning streak.
So listening to all that, it makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Beyond your immediate goals, what does your own winning streak look like? What kind of legacy are you building day by day? And if you want to dive even deeper into Ethan's world and feel the full impact of his story, definitely grab a copy of Winning Streak, The Rise of a Champion by Bill Vincent. The link is right there in our show notes. Takes you straight to Amazon. Thank you so much for joining us on the Deep Dive Podcast. We hope you got some valuable takeaways and maybe a fresh perspective today. Until next time, keep digging deeper.